So the reality is that change is really hard. Like, it's really difficult to be something new, to stop doing something that you hate about yourself, to stop repeating cycles, to stop going back into routines or patterns that you've developed. And it's really difficult to step into something healthy or something new or something that you know is going to challenge you or make you better. But there actually is some simple ways to do that. But I have this one question that you should ask yourself, that I've been asking myself. Do I like the life I'm in? Do I like the thing that I'm doing? Am I okay with repeating the same cycles, the same day, every single day? Am I happy with the place that I'm in right now? And if the answer is no, if the answer is I'm not happy with those things, I don't want to be in these things, then you have to start questioning why you do those things, not the things you do, right? Because we do certain things and we get into these patterns, we get into these habits, and it's easy to say, I don't want to do that thing. But the question is, why am I doing that thing? Like, what is deeper in me that doesn't allow me to actually make any changes, to strive or to become something new? At the end of the day, there's a few factors to it, but the most basic one is the simplicity of it. It is easier to let the current drag you than it is to walk against it. It is easier to do the thing that's just falling, let gravity drag you down, than it is for you to go against it. You have to challenge your brain. Our brains are wired in a certain way where they like routine, they like the status quo, they like the easy thing, they like the easy route, because it doesn't force you to do anything extra or be anything more. You just simply show up and do whatever. And I've been sitting with this sometimes. I'm trying to make better changes. I have certain patterns in my life that were not good or are not good, and I'm trying to do these new things. And the one thing that has been working for me is that I've been able to sit there and question that. I've been able to sit there and say, okay, I'm doing this because of this. And being able to identify why you do the things helps you identify how to change. It's so hard. You have to start looking at life from a perspective of what you desire to be and not what you're in. It's so hard to stay in those routines, to break out of them, because it is not intuitive to you. It's counterintuitive. You have to choose a thing that's difficult to do. And I know this is like probably beating a dead horse. You've probably heard this so many times, but the question there is, why are you doing that thing? One part is, again, your brain loves routines. It loves the status quo. It doesn't want to do something new. So when you're faced with difficulties of challenging, of being uncomfortable or challenging your routine, you have to sit there and create these new pathways in your brain that says that this is normal and this is okay. We've become comfortable with what's familiar. You think that the things that you do are good for you because you are so used to them. We are used to certain aspects of our lives that we think that that's how it should go and that's how it should be. You have to challenge those things. You have to sit there and question, is this who I am, or is this what I deserve? And am I going to consistently put myself in this thing because it's comfortable? There's so many people that stay in hurt places because they're so used to the hurt that they think the hurt is home. They stay in the thing that's not good for them because they've become so accustomed to it that they think that this is who they are. You got to challenge the comfort. It's easy to stay in things that are comfortable again because you don't have to do anything. You just simply are there and remain there. But again, question it. Are you there because you deserve to be there? Or are you there because you're too lazy or too tired or too beat up or too convinced to choose something different? And then finally, we're afraid of failure. We think that if we don't try, there's no chance of failing. But here's the thing, you're still failing. Like, if you're not doing anything, if you're not choosing anything, you're still choosing to do nothing, to not grow, to not move. You're still choosing that thing that is going to hurt you, that is ultimately going to be terrible for you. You have to choose your pain. You have to choose the thing that's going to be either difficult and changing for you, or it's going to be difficult and remaining exactly the same for you. And honestly, that's probably worse, right? Because at the very least in change, there's a new perspective that you can see. There's a new place you can be in. There's something extra in your life. And staying in that other place, in that other rut, it's just easy to remain in something you already hate. You're doing nothing about it. Being comfortable and familiar with pain and our struggles, it doesn't mean that we deserve them. Like, just because you know what hurt feels like doesn't mean you have to continue to live in hurt. You have to decide, do I want to continue this thing or do I want to make a change? And the hard part about this, right, is reminding yourself every single day, every single time that you have the option, and then sitting there and hating so much where you are now that you're going to listen to that portion of you, reminding yourself that you have to be the difference, that you showing up is half the battle. And then the rest is pushing yourself into it. Because what happens now is that you learn those things where you question why, and then you choose the thing that's going to hurt to change, or it's going to be difficult to change. Then you're going to remind yourself of what you actually are, what you're worth, what you really want. And then what's going to happen at that point is that those things are going to be easy. Because you've done it so much, you've gone against the current so much that you've become a really great swimmer. You've learned how to go against it. But until you start, until you force yourself, nothing changes.